All right, seems like we are live now. Excited to have you guys out here with me in nature. Hopefully this is going to be an incredible and exciting day. Man, we have had some struggles getting here today. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, so hopefully this day turns out pretty cool and pretty exciting still. We've had a storm sweeping through the west coast, and so I had to just find like a perfect gap in this one. Um, more about that in a little bit, but basically the vision for today is just going to be able to get out in nature a little bit, obviously. I do want photography, right? I got the opportunity last month to be able to shoot with who I respect and admire most. And being out with him for just 3 hours shooting out in the field was more beneficial for my learning than maybe weeks or months to do their process and just getting to learn from them. So welcome you guys. So excited to have. Why is that? Are you guys getting a lot of lag on my voice? Uh, Gotcha. Okay. Uh, well, hopefully that won't be too long. I'm not sure why that would be. As I'm talking, so now it's fine. Can you not can you not hear me at all when I'm further out? Okay, gotcha. It's probably when I'm turned. It's probably when I'm turned away. I wonder because my body's facing against it. I bet that's got to be it. Well, we'll work with this as best we can, guys. I tested this out as best as I could beforehand, but I was expecting to have a problem or two today. So I'll finish kind of introducing here, and then hopefully we can move along well, and hopefully it works out pretty well. Once I get set up in position, I'll try to face our little home base, the car, a little bit better, and hopefully that'll keep the audio good for us. So yeah, as you guys can kind of see though, we have that third person view, we have the first person view, and in terms of the chat, I'd absolutely love to interact with you guys. I'll be talking through my audio to you guys. I have the chat being fed into my ear from my wife over there in the car, and yeah, I'd love any kind of things you guys want to chat about while we're out. Any questions you have about my wildlife photography and what I'm experiencing out here in nature. So yeah, there's about a 30-second delay between the chat and my responses, so please keep that in mind. That's just the normal latency when you go live on YouTube. So there will be a slight delay between when you chat in and when I can respond to that. And there will also be a few moments in which channel members, if this all goes well, can help me make some decisions about what I should do out in the day in the field and all of that good stuff. If you haven't seen my channel memberships already, you can sign up for $2 just to support me with $2 a month, super cheap, on my homepage on the channel. So you just click go to my homepage. You can join there for $2 if you guys are interested at all. And yeah, I would appreciate that a ton. With that being said though, let's get started and see what we can capture today. Sighted. Oh, sighted as in birds. Man, I wish I had you guys with me in the morning. That's a great question. In the morning, I saw a pair of great horned owls doing some kind of mating displays together. While I was getting everything set up, there was so much in terms of there's a couple of flocks of like ibis and other types of waterfowl flying overhead. Grebes, coots that I've seen this morning, so seen quite a bit. One thing that I'm hoping for, you can see one out there. Oh, he just dove. Otherwise I was gonna spot him, but is Clark's and Western's grebes that will be out here. I don't know if we'll get any good shots, but they will be out here. What I am noticing right now, so let me pull this up for you guys as well. Let's see, get this worked out here. So if you guys can see through my camera lens right now, we have okay, it's not showing at the moment. Is it on my, oh, I see. I switched it the wrong way. My bad. This low marsh right over here. So maybe we can get something good with him. Beyond that, let's see, we got some pelicans out here. So let's switch over to those. So we got some pelicans out in the distance as well. Maybe what we could do, try something a little wider like that. And maybe some nasty kelp down here. You guys can probably see as well. But maybe we can, nope. Be a little rough getting that in the foreground. Yes, that was a snowy egret. So maybe we'll get some good opportunities with him. He looks like, the moment at least, I'm pretty far away, but he doesn't seem to care about me. So maybe we'll get some. Let me see if I can use, you see this plant foliage right here? Just gonna see if I can use that in the foreground. Here. Kind of compose a high key image maybe. So the thought here with these swallows, these are cliff swallows. They've been flying by, but they're more passerbys, so it's hard to get them nice and close up. What I may do in a situation like this is, it's a little dark right now, so I'd be pretty pushing my settings anyways, but let's crank it up to 6,400 and see if I can wind up getting a shot. This one passes by. So what I've done is I've manually focused right about this distance out in the water. Just to show you guys really quick, about that far away from me. And if I get one that passes by close enough, have some patience with me, maybe we can wind up getting one in flight. Sticking a little further out right now. There we go. As he passed by, that's a tree swallow. But these shots, to be honest, probably won't be really great because not in good lighting at the moment. So if I have any channel members here right now, I'm not sure if I do have them here at all live in the moment. If I do, I'd love to ask you guys, what would you guys like me to spend my time on right now? We got this snowy egret out in the distance over there, like we mentioned. We got some swallows flying around right now. Oh, we got a pelican coming in. See if he winds up flying by. Let's switch over to slow exposure. Okay, so channel members, we got some swallows flying around. I can try doing some more with them. Can try working on that snowy egret over there. Got some pelicans and grebes that I can try being patient with as well. If I kind of camp out along here, and if there are any channel members in the chat, feel free to put in your vote. See if I can show you guys this Clark's or Western grebe. He pops back up. There he is. That I cannot get rid of, that I cannot smash into the ground. And so unfortunately, that will cause a little bit of difficulties in terms of I can't get prone down on the ground and stuff like that. So it's gonna limit my shooting quite a bit today. But we'll see if we can wind up getting anything else. Got a little bit. I said can't get down. Right? Okay, so got the grebes. Okay. Sorry guys, it looks like I'm stuck to this side. I was saying that I can't review the photos live with you guys in the moment because of the way that my input and output works. I cannot do that, unfortunately, with you guys in the moment, but I will be posting up some of my favorites to Instagram, hopefully after, assuming we get some good stuff today, and seeing what we can make work from there. And in terms of song sparrows, man, we got so many swallows flying around. In terms of sparrows, I have no doubt we will see some today. Already saw some this morning, Lincolns and song sparrows. Oh, I should have been ready for that. Got 2 cinnamon teal that just flew by. Okay, let's get this prepped up. But yeah, probably we'll see sparrows at some point. Ready for a minute. Got a bunch of ibis flying overhead. You can see that. I'm gonna stay zoomed out until make it jarring for you guys, but it looks like when I head over that hill, my internet is cutting out with you guys. Or not my internet, my wireless transmission. So, unable to do that at the moment. Looks like I may be able to review some photos with you guys in the moment. All right. I feel extremely limited right now. I think I'm going to try to work with this snowy egret because this may be the best opportunity I get over here with my limited mobility, because I can't go out that way to get in better position for the grebes at the moment, and I could work with some of these birds in flight, but a little more interested in the snowy egret at the moment. Got the pelican flying out in the distance. So a little bit backtracking a little bit. This was definitely not the location I was wanting to shoot at today. We've had a crazy storm passing through the west coast, and I had a much better location that I've been prepping out for the past couple weeks for you guys to do a live experience there, where I knew I could get some really good examples of some subjects, stuff like that. Everywhere around me is just flooded in a storm right now, and so I had to drive quite a ways away to find a spot like this where I could get a little gap in the rain. So I apologize to you guys for not being prepared as I would like here today, but can't do much about it when Mother Nature says otherwise. So, trying to see, this is some pretty nasty stuff. Trying to see if I can work around this corner to get to the egret. Might be too far off still. a little too far, and unfortunately, again, because of my gear, it makes it really hard to get as flush as I want with the ground. Turns though, this won't be a half bad shot. I'll have to wait for him to swing back around. Position, so slightly. Some muddy ground over here. It's not turning the way I want it to. Position ever so slightly to use the screen correctly. Come back closer. A little too close. Moment got a little too close. Might try to back out to a wider angle a little bit. If I can get around the side. Seems like he's okay with me. Alright. Here this goes. Chill. So right now we're backed out to around 200 millimeters. Try working up closer again. This guy's incredible. It's awesome. Not gonna lie to you guys, this is a little tricky because I'm having to do all of this without looking through the viewfinder, being eye level. That was cool. He got just right there, a few inches away from me. That's crazy. One second as I restart my phone. What do you guys think of that moment? That was pretty cool. He came up pretty stinking close. Give it a check. Anything from the chat, Saray? My location right now is at a place called Mendota. It's a waterfowl management area. Can you hear me now? Okay. You can't hear me in your ears or in the official audio. Okay. So right here I'm trying to use this foreground, see if I can make anything of that. Back out for a second. I decently liked, that was a pretty nice one right there. Except I'm not super keen on that image right there. Not super keen on the little bit of the boat ramp in the background. I think we can make something of that otherwise. Snow egret just flew off. I think it might be this spot right here. So yeah, I'm at a place called Mendota Waterfowl Management Area. Just kind of like a lot of marsh all around. I'm not really in the very marshy section, but there's a decent amount of marsh here too. But over the hills, there's a lot of marsh. But I can't get my car over that way. Yeah, like that. Let me know in the chat. Gotcha. Yeah, the audio might be a little quiet. I am aware of that. So apologies on having to turn up your audio so high. It was about the only way I can get it done wirelessly. It weakens the audio strength quite a bit, but to be able to do all this wirelessly, I just had to work with it in that way. So apologies on that. And then Mark was asking a question about manual focusing, and what was that, Saray? That was why, or what was the question? Why? I'm using the Panasonic S1R, and it's pretty rough with automatic focus on it, or autofocus on it. It's not really good at that. It's still DFD, but that brings up the point. I do have the new S5 II, and I've been testing it quite a lot. I didn't want to show it to you guys today yet because I want to get my thoughts finished on it, but man, that S5 II is so much better. I know a lot of you guys follow me for Panasonic stuff, so excited to show that to you guys. But I do have Panasonic S5 II review and some adventures and films coming out soon, and those are going to be pretty sweet. So autofocus is about to make a huge, well, already has, but you guys are about to see how big of a jump it's made forward on Panasonic. And yeah. So yeah, just on this S1R, I just don't use autofocus with it because it's not very good. Saray, did my screen freeze up? Okay, just making sure. I restarted my camera. I'm thinking what we'll do right now is work with these blackbirds a little bit. Got some down here, or up in the trees. There were some down here this morning, so see if we can work with that at all. Those grebes haven't gotten closer that I'm aware of, so haven't really had any good opportunities with them yet. I know I'd have to be a lot more patient with them too, and I want to try to keep this a little bit more interactive for you guys. The grebes out that way. If I wanted them to come close, and it also makes it really difficult having all this on my chest and not being able to lay on the floor. So because of that, I think we might try something a little bit more like this. Got one up on that little bush out there. We have a male up there as well. I have a feeling this male would eventually come back down if we're patient with him. We do have some sparrows and house finches up in these trees as well. So just to show you guys, I believe this to be a bush tit nest. It's not season for them, so I'm sure it's empty. But it's like this bush tit nest. Pretty cool. They dangle their nests like that and hop in and out of it. It's pretty amazing. Okay, got a blackbird that just flew over my head and dove in that way. Two flying from up there. Blackbird, that's over here. See if I can pull them up for you guys. See her down there. See if I can look for angles to compose. Also not very happy with a lot of the angles around here. Trying to think if I can see anything nice in particular, but it'd be a little tough. so I might wind up actually really spending time here. Just processing the decisions in my head out loud with you guys. But yeah, I don't think this will wind up being productive, really. We got a beautiful common yellowthroat out there, though. If I can spot him before, where'd he go? Oh, there he is, down there. Right there. Not photographable, but very cool to see. Let me know what your guys' favorite warbler is in the comments. Would be very cool if I could get a shot of that yellowthroat. Go for it. No. Is it moving? Okay. Yeah. Glad to have you here, Lance and Andrew. Thanks for joining. So because of that yellowthroat down there, I do like those guys, and I don't have good shots of them. So I may see if I can be patient and get anything with that guy. But we will have to play a lot of guessing games right here. Man, it's trashy here. Warbler answers in, and very cool. I've never seen the one from India before, so I'll have to look that up after, but I'm sure that one is beautiful, and yeah, those are some good ones. I think my personal favorite might be the Townsend's. I really like the Townsend's warbler. So here's a problem that I'm having, you guys, is that for some reason my audio is not holding up, my wireless audio is not holding up very well here today. And going down where I want to get a better angle on this yellowthroat possibility is cutting out my audio from you guys. Maybe I could go around the side, see if I can keep my audio while I'm on the other side, that way I have a better line at the car. But when I'm down in this ditch, it's killing my audio. So let's walk around and see if we can wind up getting that. Yes, just like Call of Duty. We're shooting in a different way. budget first, but I do have some pretty cool trips planned for you guys coming up. In particular, I'm meeting up to collab with another YouTuber. You guys most likely know Watts Wildlife. And Watts Wildlife is out of Yellowstone, and we're gonna meet up in Yellowstone in the Tetons coming up this summer in spring, and gonna make some content together. So that'll be fun, and hope you guys can join us for that. Is my audio staying in, Saray? Cool. I think my audio will keep on this side. So we're gonna try working it from this angle. Got the redwing up in this tree right here. The male still hasn't come down. But really what I want is that common yellowthroat. Got a, is that a, let's see, Lincoln's or song sparrow. There's your song sparrow. Forget who mentioned that in the chat earlier. Got your song sparrow. And yeah, excited to bring you guys with me to Yellowstone. Should be pretty cool. It's gonna be different because I'm more of a bird guy, as you guys know, than I am a large mammals guy. But we're gonna be doing quite a bit of large mammals over there, I believe. So it should be fun. Trying to think of a good angle I can get on this yellowthroat. Prefer to avoid that brown background if possible. So I'm going to try to make my way around the side. Oh, 2 cormorants flying. Okay. Okay, that's the Wi-Fi. If it's my transmitter, you'll actually physically see the lag on your side, and if it's that box, and that's the Wi-Fi. But it's good now. Okay. Again, if you guys are joining me a little later. Oh, we got something coming up. Let's see, where are we? Oh, an auto. That's why. Ready to go. Well, I was trying to switch over for you guys. I lost it. There we go. Got a song sparrow floating around some of the reeds. Was a decent angle on it before, but the angle's not good anymore. Let's test out some angles right now anyways. So if we got him coming up to these closest reeds, the yellowthroat or a sparrow or something, we can get some pretty good shots here. He dances around on the tops. Even some of these lower ones where you have a better angle on them. Once we get into that tree, then it looks nasty. Try backing out a bit. Don't think our wide angles are going to look quite as good. Ooh, got a hair here. Let's see, what can we do? Let's try this. Flies by. Nope, he took the other direction. Wasn't going to be that great anyways, but just trying to make something of it with the foreground in the moment. Keep an eye on him. Yeah, it doesn't look like our wide angles will look very good here, but we could get a good opportunity with a tighter angle. If the sparrow or yellowthroat decides to work with us. If you're a channel member, let me know if you'd like me to stick around here a little bit more and try for these sparrows or the yellowthroat that we spotted, or these blackbird if they come down ever off their high horse. Or if you guys would like me to go back to the water and see if we can get any waterfowl or grebe coming out that way. Or I could also, I don't know if the pelicans are here, but I could also go over the hill, see if I could spot a pelican, get them a little bit closer up. See if I could work with that, not sure. Let me know if you're a channel member, what you're thinking. That was Mike. Cool. Thanks, Michael. Yeah, it's exciting. The hardest part of this has definitely been getting this whole wireless transmission set up so I can do this live with you guys. But yeah, I'm excited about this. And if you guys really enjoy this, let me know in the chat as well. And we can do this more in the future. Good. Seems like we dropped for a second. Turn. That's not a great shot. Thanks for the feedback, Mike. Yeah, that's I think it's really helpful to see sometimes, like, obviously I'm producing the much more produced, like, you know, really exciting parts in a lot of the films that I'm doing because there's a lot of inspiration and value and entertainment in that, but a lot of times I don't get to show the reality of the day and the situation in terms of all those, you know, more boring but realistic moments, right, where I'm sitting out here and trying to decide what I'm doing and how I'm framing things. And so I'm really glad that you're finding value in that. So yeah, that song sparrow stopped by. Not a good shot though. I'm not really happy with it. Yeah, definitely have too much clutter in it. He wasn't in a very good spot. He was in a better spot at that one time at first when I was trying to switch over my camera angle and then missed the shot. So unfortunately, did not get the best angle, but oh, got behind us, house coming in. Those house finches. Yep, got house finches, but they're nasty in that tree right there. I mean, they aren't nasty. The tree, they're in the nasty tree. I don't know where that yellowthroat went. I have not even seen it bounce around a single time since. They are pretty elusive, but I haven't seen any sign of it since. So I wonder if it was just passing through. Not really sure if it's worth me spending my time here with you guys live in the moment. Okay. How's the transmitter signal? That's the Wi-Fi. So Wi-Fi, let me know Wi-Fi versus transmitter, but transmitter is better now. Okay. Gotcha. All right, you guys. Well, yeah, like I was mentioning, I don't know if my audio cut out there earlier, but I hadn't seen any signs of the yellowthroat since then. I don't want to be like, while this is, much more realistic, I also want to be a little bit more productive with my time. Like I mentioned before, unfortunately, I did not get to scout at this location before because of the storm. This was not the location I was going to do at all, but because of the storm that we've been having come through the West Coast, everywhere else around me was flooded, and this was one of the only gaps of areas I can get where there was a gap in the clouds and no rain. Not the clouds, there's clearly clouds, but gap in the rain. Everywhere else was raining, and the places that I had prepared and prepped for and kind of knew what I was going to do with, those places out in nature are, well, the place, but even my backup place, all are just flooded with rain today. So unfortunately, while my camera can take it, the rest of my gear can't, my wireless gear. So I could not take you guys out to the planned location. So we're kind of roughing and toughing it today in this new location with me. Thank you guys for being patient. We did have that really cool, I think, encounter with the snowy egret this morning though. That was awesome. I really liked that. I think we got a lot of value out of that. And then, yeah, besides that, it's been pretty cool. See if I can pull up, for those who weren't here earlier, see if I can pull up something of like the snowy egret. This was an example of one of the wider shots that I took before. I believe this was around 200 millimeters, maybe 150 millimeters. And to pull up another one, I had to switch back and forth. Sorry about that. We had some pretty close-up encounters like this, for example. If I could put that into a portrait crop on that left side of the frame, that could work out pretty well. Actually, that one works a little better. Even shots like this looked pretty good. So those aren't the best that I've ever taken, because the background behind it, where it's still simplified and blurred enough to where it looks good. So let's pull it back up. Simplified and blurred to look good, and not distracting, but you get enough detail in it to where you can kind of see that it's like a river or a lake behind it. So I do like that about a shot like that. Got some closer ups too, but I think those were really my favorites, were those slightly wider ones. Yeah, again, a slightly wider one. It was just kind of an ugly brown scene if I got too close up, so it was nice having a little bit more of that context to give reason for that scene. All right, let's not a bird. Do what you said. Now might be a good time. See if do you know where the gear is in the back, Saray? Okay. Better view on the song sparrow, but not a good shot. Trying to see if way out there in the distance. Don't really like the shot, anyways. Around the side, or the two of them apparently. Got it. Good angle. What'd that buddy do? Wonder if there's anything we can compose here. Sorry for shaking this, guys. Trying to let you guys see what I'm doing without switching back and forth a billion times. I don't know. That's not going to be what I want, but trying to think like high key, and that kind of whole bush is interesting, but the problem is he doesn't get prominent enough if he's just in the middle of it. he were to be off to the side more, you know, like on the top or something. Also, just so you guys know, if you guys are chatting in, the chat is down for a second because of the fact that my wife's taking some care of something else technical at the moment. My wife's the one running the back end for me. But she will get back to it in a second. If you've chatted at any point in the next 2-3 minutes, or the past 2-3 minutes, she'll get back to it and she will let me know and I'll respond to those. Okay, so we got a pipit in the marsh out there. Pipits are usually pretty friendly. Let's see if we can work with that. Get something. Just to show you guys what I'm talking about. Where'd it go? There he is. So, let's see if we can make something happen there. Want to update me on the chat? Okay. Yeah. Cool. Love all the comments you guys have been giving. Thank you so much. In regards to the eBird comment, I used to use eBird a lot. Let me see. Hold on. Give me a second. No, that's going to be too far out. Used to use eBird a lot, but I do use it quite a bit for research. Well, I shouldn't even say that. I use it occasionally for research now. But I'm very familiar with my area, so I don't really need to use it a ton anymore, but occasionally I still do, and I get rarity updates, stuff like that. I don't often find myself putting my data into eBird a ton anymore. I probably should be better about doing that, but I don't do that too much if I'm honest. But I can be intentional about making a checklist here. I haven't been very attentive to my birding aspect here, but I'll definitely mark what I remember seeing and stuff, and maybe I can try to include that in the description tomorrow if you come back to this video and look in the description. And then what was the other question, Saray? I'm trying to remember, there was one other one, I forgot now. Discord. Yeah, so in regards to Discord, I do have a server for my members, so you can join for $6 a month to join my Discord server for wildlife photographers, and then there's a $15 tier a month for creators, and there's Discord servers for both of those. But to be honest, I was hoping that I'd get more engagement with my channel memberships when I launched them at first, but in total I've probably had about like 7 or 8 members sign up, so the engagement has been pretty low. And so the Discord servers, you know, it hasn't been as active as I would hope, but if there are people who, you know, are wanting to get on it and get more engaged, like I'd absolutely love that, and I'd love to be engaged with those people as well. So if you do want to sign up for a Discord server, you can. Just sign up yeah, on my channel memberships, either $6 a month, $15 a month, and I'll invite you to a Discord server. For those Discord servers, you'll see when you sign up that you're supposed to send me an email letting me know your email. That way I can invite you personally. The pivot's been working its way the opposite way, but it probably will swing back around eventually. The difficulty I'm having right now about what I'm trying to decide what to do is, what I would do is I'd lay here right on top of this stuff and then have my camera below me and just kind of flip out my screen, get really nice and eye level, get smooth stuff. But because I can't lay down with my gear on my chest, I'm trying to debate how I get low enough to get good shots here. Oh, we have crab legs right here. That's interesting. Maybe from a fisherman, but maybe from, yeah, I mean, there wouldn't be crab legs here, right? Yeah, there could be. I don't know. I'm not an ocean guy. Where is this guy? Pipit's really far away now, and I can't get on my belly, so that makes it really tricky. See the great egret out there, but you can also see the amounts of, it's all blackbirds, I believe those are. All right, let's work with these swallows. That's a good question. I have not answered that today from Wildlife Photographer on a Bike about how often I do wildlife photography. Honestly, not even close to as much as I want to and as much as I should. Sorry, trying to get this barn swallow. There's a couple of them. I'm thinking of a barn swallow silhouette right now, guys. So that's what I'm trying to go for. But there's lots of swallows around this tree, cliff, and occasionally the barn. The barn is the most fun for me. So I'm just trying to spot the right one, photograph and maybe get a silhouette. But good question again. Let's go back to my GoPro. Good question. Yeah, not as much as I want. Definitely should do more. In all reality, I probably get out once or twice a week because I really, as a wildlife photography content creator, I focus heavily, I am a content creator and I find myself dedicating much more time to the content creation aspect than I do to the wildlife photography. So wildlife photography is probably about I don't know, in all reality, 15 to 20% of what I spend my time on. So I'm out in the field much less than I want to, usually once or twice a week. There's some weeks where I'll be out, 3 days in a row, stuff like that. But then some weeks where I don't get out at all. So yeah, that is something, that's a goal that I'm trying to work on. And I have been more successful at it. I've been out almost at least once a week for the past couple weeks, or quite a few weeks now, but yeah. So I got the barn swallow, got him in focus, but it's not a good angle right there. Swallows in flight are tough. Probably one of the most proud images I've ever captured, Mike, is a white-throated swift. I don't know if you saw my video on that last year, but yeah, those guys are tough too. I mean, in my opinion, they're even tougher than swallows, right? Same kind of general idea in class, but they're like the level up even. But man, those are a tough bunch. And the shot I got last year of a white-throated swift, super up close, perfectly tack sharp in manual focus. That was probably one of my favorite shots. Most proud shots I've ever taken, just due to the difficulty. But man, yeah, it's a tough shot. Even here I nailed it, the focus, but then the angle is wacky. And also it's hard because the sky is just ugly today for birds in flight. So it makes it very unappealing. What I do see though is, let me show you guys. This is where I was earlier with the snowy egret this morning. Let's pull it up. He just dove, but it'll come back up. There was a Clark's grebe or western grebe out there. Let's work on that. We can get that. Man, that's such a hard one. A lot of people have told me that their favorite shot that they've ever seen of mine is some of the shots I got last year on my black-backed woodpecker adventure. So if you saw that video, if you haven't seen it, I'd recommend going back and checking it out. I released it in October or September of last year. August maybe. Actually, it was August because it's the time of the Bird Photography Awards, Bird Burger Awards. But yeah, those were maybe some of my best I think I've ever taken. But favorite might be a vermilion flycatcher landing on a perch that I planned out, and it just was like very technically sound in a lot of ways. There he is right there. Let's show you guys really quick. Beautiful, beautiful bird. Okay, let's get into position. Sorry, I'll get back to your question in a second, Finch. Man, it's trashy here though. It sucks that people leave trash everywhere. What do I do? Okay, we'll put this here. All right, again, I can't get on my belly, guys, so this makes this really tough, but let's see if we can wind up getting this. Get one. Not really. It's all right, but nothing special by any means. So let's see. Like how moody it is? Yeah, I might be able to work with it quite a bit in editing, but not big on the colors and don't really like my composition either. What can I do? Let's see. Oh, there we go. Get that a little bit more. If you'd stay closer over there, that scene can be a little better. I think this wider is suiting me a little better in the moment, but how can I get the right angle? Another thought would be that corner out there in the water, going around there, trying to photograph it from that side might wind up a lot better, but unfortunately, if you guys were with me this morning, you saw I can't get connection out there. Yeah, that grebe's just flying out there now. Man, if I was more ready for that, I could have done a slow exposure there with those pelicans, but I was not. Oh, okay, we got one. Let's see if I can pull this off. I'll show you guys after if I do. Nope, they flew too high. Flew too high up. Let me show you what I was going for, but they flew too high up. Also, I think I pulled my shutter speed a little too slow. Something like that, but lots of different options, but yeah, it's too slow, bad background, everything. Okay, I think my GoPro battery's about to die. Let me see, I might need to switch that out. It's black, yeah, okay. Give me 2 seconds, team. I'm gonna switch up the GoPro battery. Anything in the chat right now? Send in a question, any thought? Why did I start wildlife photography? Let's see. So, in the way of what got me into wildlife photography, what got me into wildlife photography. Can you mute your thing really quick? Sorry. What got me into wildlife photography? I was in Costa Rica, living there for 4 months, and I took a birding tour with someone at one of the locations, and I was just absolutely amazed by what the guy knew, what he was able to show me, just all of that stuff, and was just fascinated by all of it. So that got me into it, just the intricacies of like what is possible. Oh dang it, I can't take that off though. Saray, I need your help here. Sorry guys, give us 1 second. I'll keep chatting with you guys in the meantime. But yeah, it just amazed me seeing what you could know about these the wild, and just the intricacies of it, and knowing how he was able to show me just the patterns of how birds lived out their day at that location. There's a place called Tortuguero in Costa Rica, and he just knew everything about all the birds in that area, where they were going to be, how they interacted with each other, what times they were going to be where, and it just absolutely amazed me. And so it's very, very cool getting to experience that. So that was one of kind of 3 separate situations. That was one. Another one was in Costa Rica. It was one of my last trips to Costa Rica, in Costa Rica, like out of town where I was staying, to a beautiful place called, it's called, I'm blanking. I cannot remember the name. Not Playa del Carmen, that's Mexico. I cannot remember, but there's a place in Costa Rica that I got to go where keel-billed toucans occasionally are seen there. And I was asking around during my time there, trying to talk with the locals and seeing how I could find these keel-billed toucans that, hopefully I'd be able to see there. And they were all telling me like, oh man, it's impossible. Like we've seen these guys once or twice in our lives, and we've been living here for 20, 30 years. And when you're not a birder and you're not a wildlife photographer, you may not take those things totally seriously, but still it seems like it's a more rare occurrence, right? It's not like something that's super common in that area. And so all that to say, let's see my GoPro angle, make sure it's coming back. Okay, looks like it's coming back. Want to mount it back, Saray?
Yeah.
Okay, so the locals were telling me it's impossible to see it, right? But didn't stop me from trying anyways, like a true birder at the time, just getting into the hobby and the passion. I was determined to see it that day. And so I heard from someone who was the most knowledgeable in the area about wildlife specifically. He told me that you might occasionally catch the toucans flying down to the beach in the morning, and then they fly up from the beach on their like 30 minutes, an hour after sunrise, right? To go back up to the hills and forage around up there. So that was going to be my best bet. So my plan was to go there in the morning. I went to the beach, and at the beach didn't wind up seeing them. Spent the whole time pre-sunrise there, during sunrise, was there for about an hour. After sunrise, I was just not seeing them, and I was like, man, this sucks. I really wanted to see these guys before I left Costa Rica, and I knew this was going to be my only chance of getting to see them before leaving Costa Rica. And I was not able to. Let's see, make sure that we are connected back in really quick. Yep, we got the GoPro back on. And let's actually make sure, let's go back here. Gonna let it freeze 1 second on you guys. Switching out one more battery. All right. Let's see. You guys have seen my back end GoPro logo. Hopefully next time we'll have these kinks worked out a little bit more. You guys don't have to see so much of the behind the scenes. All right, let's tilt this down a little bit. All right, glad to be back. So anyways, was at Costa Rica looking for these keel-billed toucans, hour after sunrise, and I figured my chances are pretty much gone now. But what I did was, I was like, okay, if I have any chance of capturing them, what I'm going to do is try to come my way back the hill. So I just started walking back between the beach and the hill. Wasn't finding them. So, I'm a Christian, so whether this is God or not, who knows? But in a very cheesy way, I sat down and just prayed about it. I was like, God, I know this is stupid, but I really want to see these keel-billed toucan before I leave Costa Rica, and this is going to be my only chance. So if you'd put it in my path, that would just be amazing. And sure enough, right after praying that, I wind up seeing this beautiful color dart across the top of the jungle canopy out in Costa Rica. And immediately I knew, I was like, that's the bill of keel-billed. And so I start following it, and sure enough, I'm following it, and then I get a beautiful look on it, maybe about 50 feet away from me, so it's super close, but I get a good enough look to be able to see it very clearly. I get a shot of it, and that is one of the experiences that will forever stick with me and got me into wildlife photography. So amazing experience, and yeah, was definitely something that won't forget. There's a third story too, but I will save that for you guys in the future because I'm gonna try to get back into this right now. Go ahead and update me. That's awesome. You've been there too, Klaus. Tortuguero. Yep, that is probably the single best experience I've ever had out in nature in my life. Amazing, amazing place. So I'm trying to. No, go for it. Interrupt me. Say it one more time. You chopped in my ear. Yeah. I may do that in the future. There's a lot of ton to it, Mike. You're asking about my tech setup. I will let you. Dang it. I wanted to try to get this angle on the grebe, but audio keeps cutting out. So let's see. Let's stay up here then. But yeah, Mike, maybe in the future I will explain it, but at the moment, probably not. If people wind up really liking this and want me to do more of them, then maybe I'll explain more in the future. But what I was saying was that it's not cheap by any means. Costed me a good amount of money to get this whole setup done. So yeah, but it is more. It's complex, but it's more simple than you might think as well. Switch on my earbuds. Can you hear me again, Saray? Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Cool. Sorry about that, guys. But yeah, basically to give you the very basic breakdown of it, Mike, I have obviously 2 cameras, right? One mounted on my shoulder, one that I'm holding in my hands, 2 HDMI cords feeding into a switcher, which I can switch. There's a switcher on my chest, strapped to my chest, that I can switch my angle here in person. I could do it on the back end too, but I wanted to have the control of it over here. And then it's feeding into a transmitter. That's feeding into a transmitter on the other side. That's feeding into the laptop and running OBS for my visuals. And then on my audio, I have a separate transmitter and audio system for that as well. So yeah, really the tricky part comes down to the transmission. And then obviously I have to run the remote Wi-Fi, which that's the part where it gets the toughest because I can't control what areas will have good remote Wi-Fi and which ones won't. Not barn swallows. Okay. I feel very limited at the moment. Let's go. Let's try. Heading out this way. Walk around a bit. See what we can get. get me now? Okay, you're hearing me on the audio? Okay. We got a loggerhead shrike out here. So I might see what I can do with this, guys. Trying to get open background, that way we can stand him out a little bit more. Just get him right in front of that tree. Ooh, he's got something. Going for more. I like that tree out in the distance. That's why I moved to have it behind him, kind of frame him a little bit. But pretty far away. I don't really want to get wider, obviously, because he's already pretty tiny. But yeah, maybe a little wider like that might be nice. If I can get close, he's off. Oh, I switched to auto. You guys, so that was pretty cool though. Loggerhead shrikes are always fun for me. I've gotten some close-up shots, but nothing that I really like aesthetically still, so I've yet to still get a really nice aesthetic shot of a loggerhead shrike. So hopefully someday. Just to show you guys, if you guys haven't seen it through the GoPro yet, this red-winged blackbird males crack me up. This guy has literally been sitting on top of this pole since we arrived this morning. Hasn't moved an inch, except the moments where I just walked through the gate really quick, or when I walked through it on the pathway. And he flew up to that tree, flying back down. But red-winged blackbird males crack me up just how persistent they are. And really they are with chasing after those females. My wife commented in my ears, just like you. Thanks, Klaus. Really appreciate your comment, and yeah, I hope so too. If you guys are enjoying this, let me know below. The more I see that you guys are liking it, the more I'll look out for doing this in the future, and hopefully I can even bring new levels and new ideas into it. In the future, if it winds up going really well, I'm going to buy a whole second transmission system, so that way I could have someone also filming me from a whole third perspective. So we'll have a whole third perspective, and then we'll have this first person setup that I currently have. So we'll get a lot of really cool interaction, but that's going to take another good $1,000, $1,500 to get that setup going. So it'll have to be worth it for me. So let me know if you guys really like it in the comments. That way I can, decide if it's worth doing this again, if it's worth investing even more into, and we can keep going. But thank you, Klaus. Really appreciate that. Got it. Switch you guys over. Oh God, I think it's an auto. How low? Wow, that was way quicker than I thought. Okay. Cool. Awesome. Thank you for the feedback, guys. Really appreciate it. So, unfortunately, we'll have to be wrapping this up. In just a second here. But I've really enjoyed getting to be out with you guys. And next time, I really hope that I will be able to be more prepared for you guys. Like I mentioned, if you are just seeing this now and you weren't here earlier, we had a storm. We've been having a storm pass through, and it's messed up a lot of the plans in terms of the prep I had. I had to find a whole new location, which is this spot here that you're seeing, which I haven't prepared for. I haven't been here in probably over a year, easily. It's been a long time, so I'm not really super familiar with this area at this time of year either. And so I wasn't able to prep out some good shots here. Also, the location has been tricky in making sure that I keep my signal, as opposed to the other place that I was planning before. I was gonna have better signal that I knew of. So yeah, hopefully it will be even better next time, in terms of my preparedness. But yeah, we'll be having a wrap up here in a second, due to some problems on the technical side. But yeah, overall, I think that the coolest thing we got to really see today was that snowy egret. That moment we had in the morning, that was pretty cool. That was it. It is a pretty rough day in terms of it's just foggy and dreary, and that doesn't always make for bad shots. I mean, in certain locations that can make for great shots, but in a marshland, I find that you really need that sunrise or sunset time to make the most of it, because you have so many brown colors and stuff like that it kind of just gets too dull if it's a cloudy day. But cloudy days like in a green forest on an open lake can look fantastic. So it really depends on your location, I feel like, a lot. But yeah, yeah, next time, hopefully it'll be more prepared in terms of location, and hopefully I'll have the technicals even smoothed out a little bit more. Any last questions, thoughts from you guys before I wrap this up? Let me know in the chat while you guys are doing anything. Want to let you guys know that my Panasonic S5 II review will be coming out probably around the end of the month. I've been working on it. I've been out shooting with the S5 II, which I know a lot of you guys have requested for a review on. I don't think there's a single wildlife photographer out there that has made a review on it yet. So I'm working on that, and yeah, I'll have a review up within the next few weeks. And let me just say this, Panasonic's autofocus just made a huge jump in terms of its quality and its capability. It's getting pretty good. I don't want to state more than that at the moment. There's definitely things that can be improved about it too, the S5 II, but there's also a lot of amazingness to it. So I'm excited to share that review with you guys, as well as, yeah, I mean, along the Panasonic line. I'm actually getting the privilege of Panasonic's flying me out to New York City next week to meet with them and discuss some product development. A lot of stuff that I won't be able to share with you guys. It'll be under contract, but I'm gonna get to kind of see a lot of the future of it and see where Panasonic's heading, and hopefully give some input that will help us as wildlife photographers. So really excited for that opportunity. I was really honored that Panasonic asked me to do that. And yeah, and then the last final note is I do have a collab coming up this spring, summer with Watts Wildlife. So if you guys follow him, that's going to be an exciting time. We're going to do a couple of videos together over the course of like a week, 10 days, something like that. And there will be some good content there. So excited to share that with you guys. Saray, shoot me any last questions or comments from the chat. Very cool. Cool. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Irene, for your comments. I'm glad that you found value in it. And yeah, for a learning experience, I think this is probably much more beneficial than the wildlife photography adventure films that I make. No doubt about that. So I hope that you guys are able to just pick up something, hopefully learn just something about how I do things. It's not the only way by any means, and not the perfect way, but it's a way, and hopefully a decent way. So I think the biggest thing I can give as encouragement to anyone is just like, just looking for something different, looking for something new, rather than taking the closest up possible shot, you know, and not thinking about the background or the composition, you know. Maybe try backing out a little bit and try a new composition, or try moving a little bit around. What'd you say, sorry? Oh, gotcha. Sorry, my pacing is apparently pixelating the screen, guys. But yes, that'd be a huge piece of recommendation I'd give. But yeah, really think there's a lot to learn. So I'm glad that you learned something, Mike, or at least found value in it, the realism. And yeah, thank you, Irene, for your comments as well. And glad you enjoyed that slower pace too. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys around soon. Any last comments, Saray? Cool. Thanks, Lance. Appreciate it. If I'm ever over there, I will hit you up. And thank you, Finch. Yeah, I'm excited to share that with you guys. So, all right, well, I will see you guys around soon. Hopefully this will not be the last, and I'll catch you guys later.